He wants all the slokas.
No, no, about Om. ബുക്കൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലേ?
സ്വാമിജി ബുക്ക് ഇവിടെ
കാര്യമില്ലല്ലോ.
എന്താ ബുക്ക് വേണം? രംഗനാഥനല്ലേ?
അദ്ദേഹം പറ്റുന്നു.
എന്താ ബുക്ക് വേണം?
എന്താ ബുക്ക് വേണം தெரியாதே. సెవెంత్ చాప్టర్ అంటే 9th 8th
8th శ్లోక స్వామీజీ. ఓంకార్ 8th.
సెవెంత్ చాప్టర్. Eighth chapter, what slokas? Huh?
Om is Ekaksharam is telling only one sloka is there in that 8th.
13th shloka, Swamiji.
Huh?
8th chapter 13th sloka. That's what she said.
8th chapter 13th shloka, Mataji. Swamiji.
Om is Ekaksharam.
What?
Om is Ekaksharam.
What?
13th.
13th?
Swamiji, chapter 8, sloka number 13. Chapter number 8, sloka number 13.
Akshama. Yeah. Prayati. Yajam.
Yeah.
ஓம்ன்றத பத்தி சொல்றது இல்லையா, அதை பத்தி சொன்னீங்க. Three avatars.
Please wait.
Seventeenth എവിടെ? 17th.
Swamiji, 17th chapter, 23 slokam.
73
23 of 17.
Om Tassat.
Om Tassat Vinidesha.
Om Tassat Iti Nidesho Brahmana Srivilile Itaha Brahmana Kena Vedasya Yajnesya Pura Vidinapura. ஓம் சத்தத்தில் சொன்னோம் இல்லைங்களா, அதை பத்தி சொல்லி சொல்றேன்.
Please wait.
பரத்துவத்துக்கு நாம பெயர் போல பேசுகிறது.
It's about Om Tatsat only. The whole Mandukya Upanishad expounds this word Om and correlates it with the three states of consciousness: waking, dream and sleep. This is a wonderful study undertaken by the Prashnopanishad, Brihadaranya Upanishad and other Upanishad. You will find there is the exposition of this pranava, the supreme word Om. That is the holiest word in the scriptures. The Buddhist, the Jain, and the Hindu very much respect this symbol of the divine. This symbol Om has gone beyond India. Om Tat Sat is the name of the divine. It is impersonal, but it can also be personal. We have seen in the Purushottama, discussed in the 15th chapter, so Brahman is the unity of both Nirguna Saguna. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Pranavai Satyam, word energies are truth. Brahman or Atman is Satyasya Satyam, truth of the truth. Therefore, uttering Om are the acts of sacrifice, gift. First utter Om and then begin a sacrifice. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a discussion in the whole paragraph about this Om. Sometimes when we ask, shall I do this work? The reply given is Om. Om means permission. No other word is necessary. That is what you find in the Taittiriya Upanishad. In various ways, Om was used. Ultimately, it became the greatest symbol of the infinite divine reality, Brahman, both transcendent and immanent. This is how we studied the subject Om in Mandukya Upanishad, A-U-M. But there is also an amatra, an unuttered word. That is the Chandrakala or crescent moon, and the bindu, the dot, that is put on Om. These three, Akara, Ukara, Magara, represent the three states of waking, dream and sleep. The other represents the Turiya or the transcendental. These four are described in the Mandukya Upanishad. This is our true nature. The Atman manifesting in the waking state, the Atman manifesting in the dream state, the Atman absolutely present but unmanifested in the sleep state, and beyond these three states is the absolute transcendental experience which is called Turiya. This is how the four sections of Om and the four sections of experience are correlated one to one. So the whole universe is Om. Mandukya Upanishad begins by saying, Omit etat aksharam idam sarvam. This universe is nothing but Om. Tremendous generalization. How subtle the mind must have become to make such generalization. The whole universe is Om in its two aspects, manifested and manifested. Anyway, how did we land at Om? The Papa added Om to Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. After reading inspiring articles of Swami Ramtirtha, he added Om. We all know that, no? That Om is chanted along with all our mantras. Om is there in all our archanas. We were chanting it as a part of the mantra, but we were not knowing the real significance. So the Om is now in the 17th chapter, Om Tasat, Swami Ranganathanji quotes Taittiriya Upanishad and says that Om represents the whole manifested and unmanifested. The Brahman in the static as well as the dynamic aspect. Not merely the static, not merely the dynamic, a comprehensive. In order to, so the moment when we utter the Om, we are trying to understand both these two aspects. These two aspects are there in anything, you know. A matter becomes useful to us when the intelligence is applied, you know. If the intelligence is only there, the vastu will not, the object cannot come. If only the matter is there, again the creature, the vastu will not materialize. Both should go hand in hand, intelligence and the matter. So Om stands for both these, personal and impersonal, the manifested part and the unmanifested part. The more we think about it, we will get more and more clarity. So when we add Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, it is an addition to the Ram. Ram stands for both the static and the dynamic, and beyond both. In one of his clarification he has given. So we can now say that Om has been added to the Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. On two aspects we can say. It is full. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram becomes full with Om. Or Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram is an extension of Om. In whatever way we feel like, None of us will be able to chant Ram Nam and bring this. We have to train ourselves. In Papa's case, he was able to do it side by side. That aspect we did not know at all. And now when we try, the mind will either concentrate on chanting or on this. But to combine these two, it requires tremendous effort on our part. So now the only palpable thing is, a possible thing that we can do is, either before or in between or after chanting, we can bring in these dimensions. Say when we try in the morning for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we can try all these experiments. You try to connect me with that source. Please. You are prompting me to chant. But while I take up chanting, I forget that you are prompting me to chant. Enable me to get myself connected to the source, you. And for connecting it, whatever you have provided, like the mantra, and this sense of individuality which you have gifted to us, that is being used to remember. So enable us to, by that, we get connected with you. We feel we get connected. We are always connected with you, but at the moment we don't feel we are connected with you. So make us feel the reality that we are ever connected with you. Yeah, that would be the best way. We are ever connected with you, but we are not aware of it. Because bereft of you, I don't exist. So we are ever connected with you, but we are not aware. So when we chant Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, this is an effort to connect ourselves. Papa says you bring out your own dimensions. So when we start thinking about it, our own dimension will emerge. So far we were trying to follow. That is why it is not becoming one with us. Now we will try to search, dig out, explore, find out our own method to connect. As we have been awakened by our masters, we know that we are ever connected with him. 100% we are convinced. But while we deal with anything, we forget this connection. We feel we are absolute individuals. So every 5 minutes or 10 minutes when we stop Ram Nam, we try to bring in this dimension. We are ever connected with you, but we don't feel it. Make us aware that we are ever connected with you. If you make us aware that we are ever connected with you, the sense of individuality becomes subservient. It will not arrogate. And the life becomes blissful. As we have seen in the lives of realized souls. Because Papa's words give us that when he started doing it, and when simultaneously this digging or exploring or finding out everything was going on, he was getting a clear picture of what he was doing. Whereas in our case, we are not very clear about what we are doing. We are only following. It's all right. By following, we should have reached. But experience shows we have not reached. There are rare instances where blindly following us, they have also reached. But we don't find that. Yuga Dharma has changed, Our texture, our inner content has changed. Because we have been told in one of the slokas that when an illiterate boy went to a learned this thing, and when he was asking him what is Brahman, he lost his temper and said it is like a buffalo. It is like a buffalo. So he took it literally, Parabrahmam potu bole, liya? No. Parabrahmam potu bole. So he was concentrating, because he knows what a buffalo is. So he started concentrating upon the buffalo. And he realized that focused attention, and with faith in the words of the Guru, he was able to do it. And when he went to the Guru, he was passing through, the Guru was walking, there was a narrow road or something. Then he said, no, I cannot, come on, I cannot come, because Parabrahmam cannot enter. Parabrahmam needs more space. Then he said, what are you talking? You told me, Parabrahmam is like buffalo. And he is always with me. He cannot come, travel with me. Then only he realized. So such a nice to hear this story, that's all. Either our faith is not like that boy, or the Yuga Dharma has changed. So we cannot copy, We think we have faith in the words of the masters. And we have been following it. But the truth remained that we are not realized. So we have to find out some other method. This is a very serious topic. Today Papa is pushing us to examine whether all our efforts are making us aware that we are moving toward the ultimate destination. So what all readjustment we have to do, Adjustment and readjustment. Whenever we are confronted with a problem, we do this trial and error method, And then one gets clicked. So that's probably we are all pushed to that stage. We know intellectually, realization is not something that has to come from outside. The very word realization is what we have is being realized. What we have at the moment we have not experienced or realized. What we have is now to be realized. It is there in us, we have not realized. So this is real, that much we have understood. And so long as we are not realized, realization also we have got a new definition. So long as I feel I am the doer, I am the planner, I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer, realization has not come. Realization means we become aware that behind our thought, word and deed, It is He and He alone who makes it possible. To dwell on thoughts, to act, to think, talk and do. We need a force. At the moment we are not aware. We feel we are the sole factor who decides our thoughts, words and deeds. But Papa is pushing us to the core. That is why Papa answered to that when a devotee was asking about the conversation between a sadhu in Haridwar or Rishikesh with Papa. I have been doing for 30 years, but I have not got it. How is it that you got it in 2 years' time? So Papa was making a mention to the devotee who asked this question. So long as you feel you are chanting, even if you chant for 100 years, it will be like that. But suppose you feel that it is He who is making you to chant, then you have reached. So the devotee asked again, if everything is done by Him only, immediately Papa answered that he should feel. He feels he is chanting. When we read that, it looks so simple. But when we try to practice, it is the toughest. Because the me and mine is so powerful in us, it will not give seat to the power behind it. So we drawing inspiration from the words of Papa, like He is making me to chant. Probably that may lead us slowly, gradually. I am chanting the name who is within me and who is making me to chant.
How many? Om and Nama different. Om and Nama meaningful.
Namaste.
Nama, Om Nama, Om Nama,
Harinadhaya Namaha, Srimad Krishna Sankara Namaha. Sanskrit தெரியாதுப்பா நமக்கு. So now we are trying to understand how to improve how to make our Ram Nam chanting more and more effective. That is what is important now. We have been able to enjoy the chanting. We have also to some extent some idea about what is to be scaled. Now how to coordinate this? Are we bringing this aim, the ultimate goal of chanting, while chanting? We are asking ourselves, are we clear, or we are doing it as a routine? And we find some joy in it, no doubt. Otherwise, we will not do it. So what fine-tuning should be done while chanting? What fine-tuning should be done while we are not chanting? The question of, He is making me to chant, that is also intellectually convincing when Papa brings about the origin. because we started from him only. That is very clear. Bijam Mam Sarvabhutanam, from there. Jivanam Sarvabhudeshu. All these things are making it very clear that he is there in the form of life. We have come from him. We have forgotten. But at the same time, he is there as the life force, now and here. But while chanting, how am I to now weave in this? Papa elaborately discussed about this source, so that we are very clear now, very clear, absolutely very clear. We have come from him. We exist in him, and we go back to him. When he brought us back, suddenly he made us to forget about him, and we started building up our own life, our own concepts, our own relationship, our own desires, our own cravings, and then we have been leading this life. And one fine morning, because of his grace, through his own evolved souls, he made us to become aware of this truth. And by that time, we are habituated to thinking on the other line. Then the struggle starts, and we are slowly now trying to get over the struggle. And we have reached a stage where all these things are clear, only a little bit of tightening or fine-tuning is necessary in our methodology. We have to keep thinking this. We have traveled, no doubt about it. We have traveled with him. And then afterwards, somehow, the line is blurred. We are not very clear. A little louder, little louder.
Asmaji, little louder.
Is this the reason why we are feeling the insufficiency?
Is that the reason we are feeling insufficiency?
Correct, exactly. That is also a gift of him. Suppose we are going to a place, suppose GPS is not there. GPS came only a few years back. So when we are going, we feel we have lost the way. We have been thinking we are on the right track, but then we find that we have lost the way. But if we have not realized that we have lost the way, how will we correct ourselves? So there are some signs by which we understand we have lost the way. Not that we have lost the way from the beginning. When we started traveling somewhere, we have lost the way. So now we are trying. We are asking so many people, we are trying to go within, we are finding out the landmarks, whatever the first guide told us. And then by that, by trial and error method, he says these are all the landmarks. If I don't see that, I will change my route, go to another landmark, go to another landmark. Like that, we are now trying. Which is called insufficiency.
Swamiji, if I do something like a self-suggestion all the time, that he is with me, he is always with me.
We have to keep on hammering this. He is with me, he has been with me, He is with me, he has been with me. He is with me, he has been with me. Somehow they should keep on coming to us. But I am unable to understand. I can understand. One small incident happened yesterday, Through that he is proving again. When we were trying to bring out a small pamphlet on the source, how the source is connected, how much importance we should be giving to the source of all sources, because that alone will make us clear about his role in our life. Actually, that word is not right, but his role in our life, yeah. So when one quotation of Papa came, and while translating, somebody said, it is not in line with what we are trying to convey. Immediately, another quotation comes in our mind. Tree. This quotation is worth thinking, worth contemplating. These are these words. Please think about it. Very, very important. It's a food for thought for so many days together, I tell you. As the single seed sprouts and grows into a variegated tree, so from the one immutable, infinite, original source has come forth the countless worlds and its creatures that make up the universe. We look at the coconut tree now, for example. It has come from a seed coconut. Or suppose you are having your kitchen garden on your terrace. You prepare the, I don't know how you are doing it, in a bag. In a bag you are putting soil, manure, everything. Then you sow the seed. Sow the seed of a tomato. Acha, now, after some time when it sprouts, there are roots, there is a stem, there are branches, there are leaves, there are flowers, and there are fruits. All are having distinct characteristics. If you take the seed on your table, and if you bring all these things, you will not find anything that is common. But you know that all these things have come from the seed. Think. Though the seed does not appear to be anywhere, either in its shape or in the physical form, or any similarity is there between the seed and all these, still we know that all these things have come out from the tiny little seed. Once again we will repeat. A tiny little seed of a tomato is responsible for bringing out the roots, the stem, the branches, the leaves, the flower, and the fruit. Papa wants us to look at this and try to understand our own source. As the single seed sprouts and grows into a variegated tree, It all belongs to the same tree. It is not independent by itself. But they look not similar. Absolutely different. And we know all that has come from the same single seed. So similarly, when Bhagavan says, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam, suddenly we may feel we are all separate, Animals are separate, plant kingdom is separate, insect kingdom is separate, human kingdom is separate. In the human kingdom, everybody is separate. In the animal kingdom, animals are separate. In the insects are separate. In the plant kingdom, all trees are separate. But how can it be? So now we look at a tree before us. Everything is sprouted from that, variegated, We were telling yesterday when we were not comfortable with one particular quotation. This quotation was needed, Immediately he directs us. This is a sentence in an article called Cosmic Mystery in Divine Life, volume number 1. And we were watching how we were led to this, Somewhere we would have read it, the tree, Immediately we started going toward the tree. And then we landed the exact quotation which we wanted. And it gives a lot of clarity immediately. It is not a dictum or a dogma. As Ranganathanji always says, it is a verifiable truth. It is not a truth that is forced upon us. It should be verified by us. And those who have been associating with agricultural operations or plantation operations, they will easily connect. In people who are living in cities, probably this facility would not have been there. But nowadays you find you go to nurseries, you go to park. But you will find now. Many of you might be also growing vegetables on your terrace or on your balcony. Because that is the trend now. Where we buy seeds and then we put at least one, what is it called? Kotamalli? Coriander or chilies or something like that, tomato, something like that. Everybody now grows. So now we know how the innocent seed, when it is put in a proper place, how it brings out so many things which are not alike, which have no gross similarity. At the subtle level it is there because that is the one which gives all these things. So similarly, God is the seed and He brings out the variegated tree of various. So Papa says it is variegated tree. So from the one immutable, infinite, original source has come forth the countless worlds and its creatures that make up the universe. I think better we go through this. The infinite power that controls the destinies of the universe and the countless worlds and creatures in it is a deep mystery. This great secret has baffled the intellect of the keenest thinker and eluded the cognizance of a greatest scientist. The laws that govern the universe do not seem to synchronize with even the most intelligent human conceptions of justice, law, and order. To the bewildered man of this pragmatic mind, the workings of the universe appear to be arbitrary and chaotic. This is so because the practical man evaluates the changes and movements in the world phenomena from his intensely individualistic and therefore circumscribed vision. Whenever a sudden change is observed in the workings of the nature affecting humanity, his first and only concern is to test how it touches him individually as a human unit. If he finds that the occurrence upsets the order of humanity as conceived by him, he is disturbed and more often than not utterly confused. He questions, why is this and wherefore? And comes to deny or doubt the existing of a guiding divine principle underlying all life and manifestation. He thinks that the universe is only a nightmare of wild and lunatic forces that clash and interclash without plan or purpose. He arrives at this conclusion because he is groping only on the surface for solving the riddle of the universe. He does not probe deeper into the realm of the spirit, for he would not believe in such a realm. This is so far as the rational man is concerned. Now, what does the man of intuition and inspiration, whose experience of the ultimate reality that lies beneath the surface of things is as solid and actual, as nay more solid and more real than the experience of the man of the intellect declare? He definitely says that the universe is ever controlled by an invincible, inscrutable, omnipresent divine power, which is immortal, all-wise, all-blissful. To these sages, the entire universe stands revealed as an open book. They behold it as nothing but an ordered and harmonious cosmos. They see before their universalized vision the unfoldment of the grandiose cosmic phenomena evolved or projected forth from one eternal essence of truth. Then he adds this sentence, as the single seed sprouts and grows into a variegated tree, so from the one immutable, infinite, original source has come forth the countless worlds and its creatures that make up the universe. These sages, illumined with wisdom, proclaim that the worlds are God Himself in manifestation, and the entire aspect of it His Leela or play. Creation, preservation, destruction constitute the movement of this play. If the rationalist or the scientist who relies only on the conclusions of his intellectual and sense perception or on his observation and research would only, with as much zeal and concentration as he employs in his quest for the secrets of mere external nature, attempts to dive into the depth of his being and discover the root power from which his intellect, sense, and all movements of the physical nature derive their animation and energy, he could unfailingly solve the riddle that perplexes him. Root, the root power. Go to the root, go to the root, go to the root. Every time Papa hammers. To get clarity. Clarity of what? That He is behind everything. These are very, very thought-provoking sentences. That is why Papa said, Puja Swamiji was telling, when he was in military, he heard this through one of his colleagues. There is no disorder in the world. Everything is as it should be. Very difficult for us to agree. But when we read and probe deep into it, we slowly realize that everything is going on according to the laws, spiritual law, physical law. Which we call it as disorder, no? When I walk, when I bend before set, I fall down, no? Suppose you say everything is in order, I may not be able to agree, but you are telling us because I have violated the gravitational law, no? Naturally, when you violate, I will have to fall. So the law is unerring. It does not bend for any particular person. It is available for the entire creation. All the calamities, we name it as calamity. All the ups and downs. Think, when we violate unknowingly or knowingly any of the existing laws, physical law, spiritual law.
What is spiritual law, Swami?
What are spiritual laws?
Seeing one in all.
Biggest roadblock.
Because that is from there only all laws are started.
Oh. We have not reached there.
Not only human beings, you know.
All.
When he brought this plant kingdom, he saw to it that the plants give out oxygen, take in carbon dioxide. No? We are not planning. When the sun's heat sets on the surface of the water, from there the water goes, in the form of, what do you call it? Vapor. Vapor. And then the cloud is formed. And it comes back again. These are all laws. When we say cloud burst, and so many things are washed away, we try to blame anybody, but now we slowly understand as a spiritual student that somewhere something we have violated, and naturally it has to be like that. Any disease in the body, either it is genetic or it is circumstantial. Anything and everything. Suppose we keep on thinking about this. Everything goes according to certain set laws. That is why he said, preservation.
Creation, preservation,
Will you explain about spiritual law?
Spiritual law is the fundamental law from which everything has started. All these laws have come from spiritual law. When the subtle and mysterious power wanted to become many, wanted to express in the form of this manifestation, along with it, the laws also must have come into being. We only see the manifestation. We can try to understand all these things. So ultimately, when our surrender becomes surrender only when we try to understand this. Then we will not question the why and wherefore. This is what Papa has beautifully brought out here.
Swamiji,
These sages, illumined with wisdom, proclaim that the worlds are God Himself in manifestation and the entire aspect of it, His Leela or play, creation, preservation, destruction, constitute the movement of this play. Yes, come on.
Yes, Padmaji.
Padmaji.
when we read the inquest of God, when he is not able to enter a platform, he said it is not God's will.
Yeah?
It's not Ram's will.
Ram's will.
Because he only said, no, Ram's will. In
Because
quest of God.
Papa has done this exploring, digging, plumbing, so many things. And he has brought out all these in all his lectures. What an amount of that too by himself, Later on we find these are all there in the Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita and all those things. He puts it in an understandable language to us. So with that now, we are trying to understand that we should know that that is why he said His will alone prevails. That means His will means His will through His laws, LAWS, inscrutable laws, unchanging, permanent.
This is very beautiful.
Huh?
His will through his law.
Huh?
This is
His
very
will.
Just think about it.
His will prevail.
His will prevail. We were not able to understand. Now we are slowly trying to understand when Papa says His will prevails. Because everything is happening only by His will. If I fall down, if I slip, if I develop some problem, instead of blaming others, if I know that I have unknowingly or knowingly violated the law set by Him, because He is also in the form of the law. So He is there. His will means His. Yes. I'll tell you one. What is His will? Yes, correct. He has clarified this. He has clarified this also. What is His will? Ashram publication, Anandashram, e-books, PPTs, presentation English, you read Papa's words. Right concept of God. Yeah. In this context, it will give us some more light if we go through Papa's words on what is spirituality. Yes, correct. I will read it out. Time?
30.
What does spirituality mean? That is the question. That which relates to the spirit and the experience of the spirit is spirituality. Because spirit and matter are two different things. Our body is material and the spirit dwelling in this body is spiritual. So whatever relates to the spirit within us is spiritual. We must think, feel and realize that we are not merely bodies, but we are immortal spirit. Many people go with the impression that they are only the visible appearance, that is the body made up of 5 elements. It is not so. There is the spirit within us. It is that spirit that makes us walk, talk and do everything. Now for instance, people think when they give and receive with the hands that they are doing these movements and these actions themselves as if they got an independent power to do this thing. There are so many movements and changes that are going on within the body, such as the action of the digestive organ, the blood circulation, the growth of the hair. We cannot say these things are done by me. Can we say I am doing these things? Who is responsible for these movements within us? The same power which is responsible for this inner movement is responsible also for our outer movements. We see the wind blow, the sun giving light, the trees grow, the birds sing on the trees, so many movements and changes going around about us. They are not separate movements caused by any power of individual in them, working accidentally or by chance. That all-pervading power it is that makes act, talk and do everything. If we recognize this universal power and know that that power is responsible for what we do, then our ego will disappear. We will be one with the universal life, one with the universal truth, and we will be supremely happy and free. So long as this ego is in us, which makes us that we are the everything ourselves, we are everything ourselves, we are caught in a trap and we can never be happy. So we have been here asked to resign ourselves to the will of God. And now he explains what is will. Will is nothing but the power of God active in nature, active in ourselves. So everything happens only by his will when he say. Again he clarifies it. Will is nothing but the power of God active in nature, active in ourselves. By surrendering ours to the divine power and will, we will release within us that supreme bliss and peace which is locked up. So it is now clear enough. Will is nothing but the power of God active in nature, active in ourselves. Through this, the ego in the individual will disappear. People have asked him often, what about the free will? How does it stand in relation to the divine will? Really, there is no free will. There is only one divine will working everywhere. It is a mistake to think that we have got any power to do anything. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka in which God says, it is my will and power that prevails through the entire earth. And to know this world means myself, causing all movements in it, all changes in it. And so he is at the inception, at the growth of things, at the destruction of things. It is one power that does all these things in the universe, and if we submit to that power and know that the power is active in us, then we will be freed from the ego, and that moment we realize that we are the unchanging, immortal, all-pervading, spiritual and universal truth and spirit. To know that we are the spirit is to know him, God, and this is spirituality. He has placed everything before us in a platter. So when we say that there is no disorder in the world, no, we are trying to understand the spiritual law and the physical law. Somebody was asking about spiritual, more it is expressive in the form of love, compassion, selflessness, sacrifice, creativity. So when we violate any of these things, love, we suffer. When we don't feel the same feeling to others, envy, jealousy, possessiveness, all these things will come to us. Yes, now it is becoming clear. So everything has come from spiritual law, but even spiritual law can be defined. The oneness, So spiritual law and physical law. Physical law can be experienced straight. The other thing is we have to do a little bit of thinking. When I am driving the vehicle, if the tire gets punctured, it will not be in my control, I may try to manipulate and somehow get it stopped, but it will not move. So we are now trying to understand that this law has not been created by any of us. Only when the tube is full of air, it will enable the tire to move. When it gets punctured, it will not. So a spiritual aspirant will try to know this law. The moment he recognizes this law, no grumbling, no complaint, no why and wherefore. We put it in simple word, His will. Please start thinking. Compare it with your own experience. Then it becomes more and more clear. More of it tomorrow.
இந்த ரிக்வேதத்துல ஆரம்பிக்கிற போது ஒரு ஸ்தோத்திரம் சொல்லுவா, கர்ப்பஸ்தம் ஹேமபீஜம் விபாவத்தோன்னு சொல்றா. அந்த ஹேமபீஜமும் கோல்டன் சீடும் ஒண்ணுதானா?
பார்க்கணும். அது நாமெல்லாம் சொல்லியிருக்கோம். அந்த இரண்ய கர்ப்பஸ்தம் ஹேமபீஜம் விபாவசோ அனந்த புண்ணிய பரதம் சரசாந்தி பிரயச்சமே அவாஹிதாபிய சர்வாபியோ தேவதாபியோ நம. All those things we have recited. We should know now. We will try to find out, because we don't know Sanskrit. Only such of the slokas which was explained to us, it is known to us. We will try to find out. Yes, everything. ஆயிருக்கும். We will try to find out. ஹிரண்ய கர்ப்ப இந்த தட்சிணை கொடுக்கறத நம்ம பண்ணுவோம் இல்லையா? தட்சிணை கொடுக்குறதானே சொல்லுவோம். அது வெள்ளத்தை விடுங்கோ இல்லையா? ஹிரண்ய கர்ப்பஸ்தம் ஹேம பீஜம் விபாவசோஹோ அனந்த புண்ணிய பரதம் ஹதசாந்தி பிரயச்சமே. அப்போ somewhere we are connecting it. We will find out. Correct. We will find out. சரி பார்க்குறோம். Good that you told us. டிகேஸுக்கு தெரியும், பார்க்குறோம். நீங்கள் கேட்குறேன்னு. So now something for all of us to know about something about the will, about the unchangeable laws, how he is available before us not only in the form of manifestation but also in the form of spiritual laws, physical laws. Let us do some thinking, All this to know that what this Ram stands for. We are chanting Ram Nam, that should not be lost sight of. We don't go anywhere. We are having one hand firm on Ram Nam. And because we have not been feeling that we are progressing, we are trying to add so many things so that the chanting becomes more and more effective. And we feel we are moving towards that awareness. This should not be lost sight of. So our hold on the Nama should always be firm. We know The Nama, we have not been able to rise up to the expectation of the Nama, so the Nama has not been able to reveal the real purpose of the chanting in us. So now some fine tuning is necessary in our methodology, in our discipline, in our lifestyle, so that the Nama reveals itself. Nama reveals the Nami in us. So let us all try to think on those lines, having our firm hold on Nama. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. என்னெல்லாம் பப்பா கொண்டு வரார். ஓம் ஸ்ரீராம் ஜெய ராம் ஜெய ஜெய. ஹரி ஓம் ஹரி ஓம். பிரணாம் பிரணாம்.